Hey, Couch Cousins. Welcome back to Couples Couch, where Black love kicks back, gets real, and definitely laughs out loud. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel, our IG page at Couples Couch 24, and our TikTok page at Couples Couch. I'm one of your hosts, Nicole.
Yo, 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 what's good, Couch Cousins? Welcome back to Couples Couch. Thank you for tuning in to episode 15.
15.
15. I am your other host, Derek.
And this episode is titled Peace versus Passion in a Relationship.
Yes.
All right. Don't forget to follow our business pages, SoulSignatureDesigns and BLKLine. We'll post the links in the captions. All right. Let's start off with our couch cipher. Oh, goodness. If someone approaches, oh, goodness. Come on, Nicole. Get it together. If someone approaches your partner and flirts with them while you're both present, who should address it first? And how should they handle it?
If someone is approaching you and
you're there,
and I'm there and they try to holler at you, it's a whole situation. I'm stepping in like, brother, this is my wife. So whatever you planning on doing, you just gonna need to stop it right now. This is my wife. She's taking for, so the hollering needs to cease right now. Have a nice day.
But do you think that
and keep it moving?
Do you think that I wouldn't handle it?
No, I'm not saying that you couldn't handle it. I'm just saying, just from my perspective, as a husband, I'm going to be like, nah, bro, because one, again, if you a dude out here trying to holler at females, which you are well within your right, if you are an older dude, like if you're 40 or older and you're trying to, meet somebody and you're, let's say, at the grocery store and you see somebody, oh, she looks appealing to you, I might try to step to her. If you got any kind of maturity about yourself, you're going to look to see if she got a daggone ring on her finger.
But just because you have a ring on your finger doesn't mean that you wouldn't let somebody holler at you or that you wouldn't step out. People have rings on their fingers all the time and they cheat.
That's true, but they grimy for that.
They very grimy.
If you got a whole ring on your finger and you entertaining any kind of conversation, clearly you are not happy in your marriage because you're entertaining conversation from another dude whose conversation has to do with him trying to ultimately get in your drawers. So, yeah. Nah, go ahead.
So for me, I think that I would want to handle this situation if a man approached me and you were present. I think that should be my job, is to turn that person down and to say, hey, this isn't what you think it is.
Right.
I'm married. This is my husband.
Right.
And I think I should be the one to handle it. However, I do know that if a woman was to step to you, I probably would step in before you were even able to handle it. And yeah. So
I just think from a protector standpoint, whether it's the female spouse or the male spouse, I think that's just a natural protective instinct that when you're in a committed relationship, you just do. You know what I'm saying? Especially in that kind of a situation. You're just gonna just be like, nah. What you doing? Like this, like they married. What you doing? They married to me. Like, relax. You need to go on and find somebody else who ain't got no jewelry on their finger.
Or somebody that has the jewelry that's willing to play with you, because I'm not her.
Right. Because that's, no. Not doing that.
Okay, I'm trying to get my computer together because it's not letting me see the live feed as it comes up.
Oh, okay.
But mic check.
Yeah, we'll get back to that. All right, y'all. So our mic check. Let's see. We jump into this before we jump into our main topic discussion.
Kind of to warm up the mic.
Yeah. All right. So go ahead, babe.
having a hard time tonight with this technology. All right.
It's all good.
We're in a relationship.
Mm-hmm.
My best friend is not in a relationship
Mm-hmm.
and has labeled herself single.
Mm-hmm.
It's late.
Yep.
We're leaving a club.
Yep.
Is it okay for you to walk her to her car?
So this question there's a couple of layers that of context that should be explained. Because some people can misinterpret this and just be like, hell no, why he got to walk her to the car, and that kind of thing.
Well, I want to say most of the people on the Facebook page thought that it was insane that I was even asking this question, that it was no questions asked. My husband or my significant other is definitely making sure that my best friend gets to the car safely.
Right. And that's how I look at it too. Even, because ultimately, if it's somebody, well, one, just from a just human being standpoint, if you see someone that's in danger, if you are a good person, good human being, you're going to try to step in and help that person who's in danger out.
But my friend is not in danger. She just needs to walk to her car, and it's late outside.
So, again, you would be like, okay, let me just make sure she's good. Let me make sure that she's safe. Walk into her car. Just in case, let's say she encountered some dude trying to holler at her. She brushed him off and he got disrespectful or somebody she brushed off and he just was not getting the picture and he just was just being very, very very unsafely persistent, and she's like, yo, I done told you, no, I'm not interested. Like,
you're talking like this is happening in a club.
Yeah. So yeah, ultimately, yeah, I would definitely, walk them to the car, make sure they got in the car, make sure they pulled off, just to make sure that they're safe because they're a friend of yours. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Because I would want, if you were out with your friends and one of your friends' husbands happened to be there and I wasn't, or whatever the case may be, I would hope that they would do the same for you. You know what I'm saying? Walk you to the car to make sure that you good and you drive off. You know what I'm saying? Not let you, especially if y'all was downtown and it was nighttime. You know what I'm saying? And you had to go to your car that's in the parking garage.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? And maybe they parked in a different parking garage. You know what I'm saying? I would hope that they would just walk you to your car and then they would, go make sure you pull off and you good. And then, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe they walk you to your car and then you can give them a ride to their car. You know what I'm saying?
Here's my thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
As somebody who has been burnt more than one time by a female friend, we're walking her to her car together.
Oh.
We're going to see her to her car together. Not that the group of friends that I have now, way different than the group of friends that I had prior to this.
You're in your 20s?
Yes.
Even 30s?
And part of my 40s.
Okay.
So I could trust this group of females around my husband.
Right.
Whereas before, I had some grimy females around me that I consider friends. So now I'm a little bit tainted. I'm not going to sit here and lie and say I'm not tainted. That's not to say that I don't trust my husband either.
Right.
But it is to say that I am making a boundary. I'm drawing a line in the sand to protect my marriage, because what I don't want to have happen is a friend could say your husband tried to talk to me. I'm not present. I don't. It's your word against his.
Yeah.
I also don't want to have that temptation following my husband around, because when you leave things up for chance, you just never know what could happen. And I've done that before. I've left things up for chance in the past, and chance screwed my husband. So
right,
we're going to walk her to her car together. That is my thought. That is ultimately my thought. If my friend is ready to go and she needs to get to her car, we going to pack up our stuff and we're going to walk her to her car together. Now, if we're at the house and it's dark outside, I'm going to stand at the porch and make sure she gets into her car safely and my husband can walk her to her car. But again, I've been burnt. So I'm speaking from the perspective of somebody who has been cheated on,
Yeah.
whose friends have actually cheated on
Yeah.
with my ex-husband
Yeah.
or with an ex-boyfriend or whatever. So
Yeah.
I'm a bit tainted, and you can call that insecure. You can call it whatever you want. I call it setting a boundary in my marriage.
I wouldn't call that insecurity.
Well, the people on Facebook definitely called it
No.
insecure.
That's you. If you can't call that insecurity, and here's why I say that. The reason why it's not insecurity is because you entrusted these people, and these people
burnt me.
They betrayed your trust.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not insecurity. These are experiences that I've learned from, and I have to, I got to be more protective or be more conscious of who I let into my, like you said, who I let into my circle. So I wouldn't say it's
just like when you have your favorite toy as a kid, right?
Yeah.
And you let your cousin or a friend play with your favorite toy.
Uh-huh.
And they break that favorite toy. So now you get another toy, the same one that you just had.
Yeah.
You gonna give them that toy again?
Nah.
No, you're not.
No.
So I'm not gonna give anybody any footing into my marriage.
Right.
Because I've done that before. I've trusted a lot of females. I got burnt by several.
Right.
And so now it's a trust thing for me in regards to the female friends, because even if he's not going to cheat and he moves on and says, nah, that's not for me, the fact that she even tried it with my husband sets an issue of trust between me and that female.
Yep.
So now, to protect my marriage, I am going to do things differently. I am going to set boundaries with people, whether you like it or not.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I agree. Like I said, if you've entrusted people and they've betrayed your trust, you have a right to feel the way you feel and be extra cautious, about that kind of a situation.
And I just call it just setting boundaries. I'm setting a boundary now.
Right.
Everybody can't come.
All right. Well, that was all right. So we're moving on to our real talk, which is our main discussion.
Okay, we know that being in a relationship requires a lot of love, but love will not just carry your relationship. And most times, in order for a man to feel loved, his wife must bring him peace.
Yep.
However, women, we crave passionate love like that from Darius Love Hall on Love Jones, where he was just spitting at her with all these poems, and Nina Mosley, and they're having hot, passionate sex. So we expect that type of passion from a movie like Love Jones, right?
Okay.
So you got a man who wants peace and a woman who wants passion.
Okay.
Now, with that being said, should love feel more peaceful or more passionate?
Okay. Let's see. Every time we've talked about subjects kind of not like exactly like this, but just something, in the same ballpark, I always go back to levels of maturity, because I think that plays a big part in it. Obviously, when you're younger and you're in a relationship, passion's probably going to reign supreme.
Right.
And when you're younger, I don't think you really pay attention to the highs and lows of that passion.
Okay.
I mean, it's there, it happens. Especially, and I'm talking more specifically with the lows. It happens and you do, but I don't think you feel like it. You don't understand the ramifications of those lows and how they really will drain you. Because you're like, man, let's just get back to us just doing this. I like when we do this. It's always fun when we doing this. All the high aspect of that passion. But when it's low, it's like, and then when you're older, I say 40 and older, I think you're seeking peace.
Mm-hmm.
I think when you're in your 40s, you're seeking peace. One, as a 40 plus older person, you realize how much energy and time you put in to passion in a relationship. And you're like, wow, this is really draining.
Yeah.
Man.
It can be very draining.
So to me, I'm going to side with the peace.
Okay.
And I understand women are wired to for passion. There's nothing wrong with that because, what's that book called? Men are from Mars, women are from Venus. Mm-hmm. We're just wired differently. But I also think that, again, if you're 40 and older and you've experienced some relationships and some heartbreaks, some heartaches, I think if you want a healthy relationship, you gotta put in the work to make sure it's peaceful in your relationship. Okay. But you also got to put in that same amount of energy to make sure that there's passion there, because if you don't have both, it's going to be a struggle.
Okay. So, I think both are needed in a relationship.
Yeah.
But I think passion can somewhat cause that anxiety, that high that you were talking about and that low. Mm-hmm. And if you're not constantly high, mm-hmm. you always going to feel like you're missing something. You know mm-hmm. what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, as you state, the older you get,
yeah,
you still want that passion. You mm-hmm. want that passion, but you don't want to experience it like you did when you were younger. You don't want that anxiety feeling. And you want to produce that type of passion with somebody that you feel peaceful with.
Yeah.
And so I think that's the important part, is that you have the peaceful part of your marriage or your relationship. Mm-hmm. And it's so peaceful and it's so calming, because remember, peace gives you stability.
Yeah.
Peace gives you calmness.
Yeah.
And the peace that you get from somebody that you can trust and that you can believe in, then you can feel that passion for them. Mm-hmm. It's not like when you were younger and, this your boyfriend and you just like, ooh, we hooking up in the car, and you think that's passion.
That's exciting.
That's exciting.
Yeah, that was exciting back in the day.
I think that the older that we get, we're looking for that type of excitement that we had when we were younger. Mm-hmm. And to be honest, I think that's why some people cheat, is because they're like, well, he's not passionate about me anymore, but he's created this space of peace for you, that you don't even look at it as being comforting and stability and all the things that are needed in a marriage. Passion is not going to keep your marriage sustainable.
Right.
Passion and love alone, that's not going to keep you stable.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You have to have more than that. So for me, I think it's an equal balance of both. Mm-hmm. But in order for me to feel that passion that we had when we first met.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like everything was like a roller coaster, and it was like, oh my God, he gives me butterflies and he makes me feel this way. And, all of those things. That's great. Mm-hmm. But how long does that actually last? And is that going to be enough for me to sit down and talk to you about the bills and the struggles that we have and all the things we have going on? Yeah. No, I'm going to need you to also be peaceful. Mm-hmm. And if I have that peace from you and in our marriage and in our relationship and in our friendship, then we can produce passion.
Yeah.
But if I have to choose one or the other, it's definitely going to be peace. Because passion, I feel like it'll come, but that's something that, when the longer you're married, you have to put the work in for it.
For the passion.
Yeah. Because it's never going to be like the first time y'all met.
Yeah. So
we're never going to, that's like a drug addict. You're never going to get that same high. The first time you got high.
Crackheads.
Yeah. Or even somebody, the first time you smoked weed.
Yeah.
You're never going to get that same high.
No.
We're never going to feel the same way we did about our partner the first time we met or the first time we had intercourse or any of those things, because it was new, it was fresh, and it was fun. You know what I mean? Yep. But in order to bring that into your marriage, you have to create a foundation of peace. Mm-hmm. And then you have to work towards bringing that passion in. Yeah. Because now, not only are we married, but we got bills.
Yeah.
We got a blended family.
Yeah.
We have real responsibilities.
Real life stuff going on.
And so now you're like, well, babe, I got to do X, Y, and Z. I got to do this. I got to do that.
Yeah.
You have to set that time aside to have that passion for your person. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
it's not going to spark up like it did when we first met.
Yeah.
You might have to put a little oil on that engine to get it to go.
Right.
But that's fine.
Yeah.
Because if that's your person, you're going to be willing to do that.
So you're saying, like, there's got to be some communication, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Because I agree with you. There definitely has to be, y'all got to definitely be on the same page. And y'all definitely have to understand that the passion is going to look differently.
For each of you.
Yeah. It's going to look differently, than it did at the beginning or even when you were in your 20s. Passion's going to definitely look different.
It's not going to look like it did on Titanic.
No.
This man ain't about to lay a door down for you and you freeze to death. It's not going to ever look like that.
What we look like trying to have sex in my car or your car.
Listen.
Oh, well, we could in yours because you could lay the seats down. You got an SUV, but in my car, it's not happening.
Especially not with all this weight I've gained. It's not happening.
Stop.
But
yeah,
we move.
I definitely think that the older you are, you create peace through hard work between you and your partner. And when you create that peace, if you want, you all can think of ways to create that passion.
Yeah.
You can
dress up and go to a bar and pretend like y'all don't know each other.
You can get fun at, because one, to me, I think what makes the passion in relationships, especially marriages with us, is the fact that those holdups that you had to keep on to when you were not married and you were intimate with individuals that, you know what I'm saying? But when you're married, it's like, the gloves come off. Shit, I'm married. It's whatever.
But then also too, I think as women, well, even men do this. You come into this relationship, you're always looking beautiful. Every time y'all go out.
Yeah.
But now he's seeing this different side of you every day. You got your glasses on, your hair tied up and a scarf. And, you're not always presented the way that you presented yourself the way you did when y'all first got together.
And as a man, if you still get them same tingly butterflies when you see your woman in the morning, or like me, and she knows it. Like, I've taken pictures of her when she sleeps because she sleeps so peaceful and she still looks fine when she sleeps.
Thank you, baby.
But if you don't feel that way towards your spouse when you see them in their natural state, if you don't feel that love and passion, then maybe you need to figure something else out, because that's when you really got to love somebody. When you see them at
their worst, like when I had surgery.
Yeah.
And I'm in pain.
Yeah.
Crying. Can't go to sleep.
And after the surgery, you got to take care of them. And you got to,
And there's no passion in that.
Nah. You just got to be there. You just got to be there, and you got to, say, hey, what do you need? I know I can't take away the pain, but how can I help you kind of make it a little bit easier for you? So I definitely think peace, like as you get older, you want peace. What is it? Peace and prosperity. You want it. Because you can create your own passion.
Absolutely.
You can definitely do that.
JJ said, hell yeah, same bro. I absolutely love watching the wifey sleep. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah. JJ, no, I think that's just a man thing.
Is it? Because I'm snoring like a whole car
That's
over
just
here.
a man thing. Well, we're not talking about when you're snoring.
He's taking pictures of me. I'm over here snoring like a loud old
We're not talking about the snoring times. We talking about when you're sleeping quietly, And then I'll say this, a fun fact. This is something that just absolutely, as my mom used to say, absolutely tickles me to death. When you are having a dream and it's a funny dream and you got that little funny sniggle that you do, man, that'd be funny as hell. Because I'm like, man, this dream must really be funny and really be good, because you just be laughing your butt off in the dream, and it be having me cracking up. So you definitely got to be able to love your spouse, your mate, your girlfriend, your boyfriend in their natural state, because here's the deal. And I don't mean to get into the sex aspect of it,
Lord.
but those of you all that are tuned in,
this is not a rated R show, just to be clear.
Put a thumbs up in the group chat if you are a fan of morning sex.
Oh my God.
Get 2 for me. Morning sex is amazing.
This is not a rated R show, y'all. I promise you it's not.
That's some passion for your ass.
Okay, well, you can be in somebody,
man,
and their breath is just stank.
Again, you can have sex with your partner and y'all ain't got to kiss in the morning. Y'all could just get it in. And man, that's a great way to start your day.
The best part of waking up.
Right. Is the best part of waking up is
Derek in my cup.
Is busting
oh my gosh. Oh my gosh.
The best part of waking up is busting a.
Oh my goodness.
But yeah, so that right there, that's an example.
What's wrong with him?
That's an example of passion. When you're in a long committed relationship, man, them quickies.
Hey, we done went to a whole nother. JJ said for morning, lunch, and dinner.
Man, what? Hold up, a summertime?
A nooner?
That's what you call it, a nooner.
a nooner.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
That's when you wake up on Saturday kind of late. Man, it's like around noontime.
What?
That's a nooner.
What?
That's a nooner. All right, well, we're going to move on. Let's move on to a segment that we call Couch Cousins.
Couch Cousins.
Now, these questions came from our Couch Cousins. I posted the need for some more questions on my Facebook page the other day. And these all came from some of you. So, the first question says,
yep.
Can great chemistry overcome poor communication?
Ooh.
So, Couch Cousins, in the comments, let us know, can great chemistry overcome poor communication?
Oh, but let's see. But don't you need some communication for there to be chemistry?
Absolutely.
Well,
you know what? Some people may not need that. I need that. Poor communication for me is devastating. I can't.
That's a turn off.
It's a complete turn off. If you don't know how to communicate your feelings, I am not a mind reader.
Right.
I might see and be like, oh, you sexy, you look good.
Yeah.
But the moment you open your mouth to speak, if you can't communicate your needs and your wants,
doing?
And not just the way that they're talking, but if you can't communicate your needs and your wants to me,
I know what you're saying.
We're not gonna last long.
You don't know, yeah.
Because I'm a talker and I'm a great communicator.
Kind of like how we say to our students, use your words.
Use your words. I'm not. And that's the other thing. Working with kids, you don't want to come home and have to deal with your partner who can't communicate their needs. Because working with third graders, they find it hard to talk about what it is they need or want.
Right.
I'm not coming home and dealing with no 50-year-old man who can't talk. So if the communication is not there, we probably don't even have the chemistry. You might be the finest specimen in this world.
Yeah.
If you can't communicate, the chemistry's off for me.
Well, it's just like you said, your description of Darius Love Hall and Nina Mosley, he literally stimulated her and drew her into him based off of that poem. Mm-hmm. Even though in the movie, she said, you embarrassed the shit out of me. But in the same breath, she thought it was sexy as hell. She was like, man, this dude don't know me, came up here and literally verbally stimulated my mind to the point.
But let's be clear, he had already written that poem. He just named it after her. That was some player shit right there. Let's just keep that real.
Hey.
He ain't go up there and freestyle a poem.
Okay. Again, it don't matter.
You got to be careful with poets, though, because they'll seduce you in ways that you ain't never imagined.
Right.
We'll seduce the hell out of somebody with some words.
Right.
Man. Have you visualizing all types of things.
Man. But again, here's the deal though. Just like you said, somebody who's verbally talented is only going to attract other verbally talented people.
Not necessarily.
Because if somebody ain't like understanding what you're saying and you
do you know how many men I've attracted at poetry readings who had no clue what I was talking about, thought the poem was completely about something else? And I get it. Poetry and art, they're subjective. Yeah. So you can imagine that it's going to be about this and that, but yeah, when I say communication, it's not necessarily like through poetry, or I'm talking about when you come home in the house and you've had a bad day. Yeah. And you come in and you dragging your feet and you got your lip all poked out and you're upset. Mm-hmm. And I say, well, babe, what's wrong? Nothing. Clearly, yeah. Visually, there's something wrong with you. Yeah. What's wrong? Now, we haven't been together all day, so I can assume that it has nothing to do with me. Correct. But if it is, let's talk about it. And if it's something that you just don't want to talk about it, don't say nothing. Say I just don't want to talk about it right now. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, it's again like dealing with a kid. When you have a grown person who cannot effectively tell you what's going on, something happened at my job, I'm trying to process it, babe. Let me get through it. Now you bringing your attitude to me, just like I tell my third graders. I didn't do it. So don't come here with that attitude with me. Right. Because I didn't do it. So whatever happened before you got to my classroom, it needs to stay there. It needs to stay there. Yeah. Now, if you want to talk about it, we can talk about it. But you're not about to run around this house with this attitude, your ass on your shoulders, and act like everything's just supposed to be fine, because now you done pissed me off.
Kind of like our kids sometimes.
That's exactly what I'm saying. I don't want to deal with a grown child. Right. Because somebody who cannot communicate their feelings, that's exactly what they are. You're a 50-something-year-old child. Right. So, the chemistry will definitely be off.
Well, let me ask you this then. So what if this person, let's say you've been talking to this person for 3 months, and you've been kind of, you detected like, okay, he's really, or she's really not effective communicator, but they have potential. My mother told me a long time ago, don't ever date a man with potential, because you got the potential to go high, but you also got the potential to fall flat on your face and go low. So just because you got potential to do it don't mean that you're going to necessarily do it. And at this late age in my game, and I'm glad that I found you, I'm not looking for a Build-A-Bear man. You got to come equipped with everything, including the batteries. Right. So, okay. So what I mean with potential is, can you like guide and show them how to communicate? No. You are too old for that. It's a no for me, dog. You're too old for that. At 50-some years old, and again, I go back to the dating sites that I was on before me and you met. Yeah. It's so many grown children out here. Don't know how to communicate, can't express anything. It's terrible. It's terrible. Yeah. It's terrible. Let's see. Let's look in the comments. Let's see. Minnie says, just because someone is expressive creatively doesn't mean they communicate well. Absolutely. What you mean? You could be a great poet and still don't know how to talk to people. How's that? Because poetry is an art. So think about it. You got the dude, gold all in my chain, gold all in my watch. Trinidad James. You got Trinidad James. Made that whole song. Yeah. He might go home and not know how to communicate to his wife or his girlfriend just because he could put some words together around a beat. That don't mean you're a great communicator, babe. I don't know if that was a good example, because well, my point being is that just because you're creative, doesn't mean that you know how to communicate. Communicate, especially if you're talking about like communicate if you're in a romantic situation. Or are you just saying period? Period. Because I don't even want to have friends who are not great communicators. Right. Because I've had girlfriends that'll say nothing's wrong, and the whole time we on the phone, you got an attitude. You can hear it. So clearly there's something wrong. Yeah. Tell me what I did to upset you, so we can move past that. Yeah. But instead, you want to be a child, and you can't talk. I don't deal with stuff like that. I wonder how people navigate through life to the point that they're like you said, in their 50s or mid to late 40s, and they've never like learned to or been able to communicate effectively.
Shayla said, I'm not guiding shit. That should always be embedded. Absolutely.
That's, to me, that's kind of like,
JJ said potential doesn't win the race. Absolutely.
to me, that's kind of like somebody who grows up and they don't know how to read really well.
Well, see, I think people who are not great communicators didn't have parents who communicated to them. They talked at them. And there's a difference. Yeah. And I see it now in my students.
Yeah.
Their parents talk at them. They don't talk to them.
Yeah.
It's like, do this, don't do that, stop, da 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 da. And so now when I'm trying to ask you questions, you don't even have the vocabulary to tell me what's wrong because nobody at your home has asked you what's wrong. How was your day?
Yeah.
So for instance, when my daughter gets in the car with me, I always say, Anaya, how was your day? And she says, it was okay. And so I say, what made it okay?
Yeah, that's
because now
phrase.
I'm gonna force you to communicate with me. And then I've told her early on, after somebody asked you a question about how your day was, it's now your turn to ask them how their day was.
Yeah.
Some of us were not communicated with when we were little. Yeah. We weren't able to express our feelings, especially in Black households. Black people didn't ever ask you why you so depressed. You know what I mean? So you didn't have the ability to communicate when you was a kid, and then you grew up with this thing on your shoulder, and when you got into relationships with other women because your mother never communicated with you, now you don't know how to communicate. Now you out here raising somebody else's mate, and you teaching your child to not know how to communicate either. I think it's generational. If you have parents that don't communicate, you naturally not gonna know how to.
And it's up to us to break them generational curses.
Absolutely.
Because I look at it as like my parents, they did communicate not as much as I did with my kids, but they did do a little bit, and we laugh and joke and we would cut up and every once in a while, but they didn't communicate at the rate that I did with my kids growing up. Like, like and granted my kids are grown, so, but I'll still have stimulating conversations, but I think that attests to obviously the profession that I'm in. And I've, working with high school, middle school, and elementary school kids, you just kind of develop those skills to where you can literally, like me, I sit and let them elementary kids talk, and they'll just be, because if you sit down,
they rapid fire
they
questions.
will tell and question and ask. Oh man.
But again, why do you think that happens? They don't get talked to at home.
Right.
So they coming to you asking you everything because nobody's talking to them at home. They're given a tablet and go to your room.
Yeah. And then when you tell them certain things and tell them why, you explain why, they're just like, really? You're like, yeah, that's why you do this and do that. But yeah, I agree.
It's definitely a huge difference, man.
Yeah. Communication is definitely important.
Minnie said, I might tell you once, this is a safe space, or I wish you wouldn't shut me out. Other than that, you're done.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think in my younger years, I probably was more open to talk to people and say, hey, what's wrong? You can talk to me. This is a safe space.
Yeah.
But if we're in a relationship and we've been dating for 3 months, you should already know that I'm a safe space for you just because of the type of person that I am.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to keep asking you what's wrong. I don't have the patience for it now. At 48 years old, I just don't have the patience for certain things.
Right.
If you tell me ain't nothing wrong, at this point, I'm going to believe you and I'm going to walk around you like ain't nothing wrong with you. Don't come to me tomorrow, though, talking about, babe, I'm upset because you didn't ask me what was wrong. I did ask you.
Because you might smack me with a...
I did ask you.
Right. You just didn't know how to communicate that.
Yeah. And that's fine if you don't know how to communicate. Find somebody else who don't know how to communicate and bug the hell out of them. Y'all can just sit and quiet. Yeah, y'all can just sit on the couch and quiet together.
Or text each other.
And you know what? That too, I think is important too, is knowing how people like to communicate. Because some people are just not talkers, but will text it out to you and tell you like, hey, I'm feeling like this. But that's still a form of communication. Because my son he's not a big talker.
Yeah.
But we've had a lot of conversations via the text message or writing letters back and forth. That's what we used to do when he was little. And so sometimes you just have to know the person's communication style too. Yeah. Everybody's not going to come to you and say, everybody's not me. I'll say this. Everybody is not me. Because the first time I have a problem, I'm addressing it.
Yeah.
Babe, you did such and such today and it really upset me or it hurt my feelings. But I've also learned, like, when I'm really, really angry, to give myself some space.
Yeah.
Because I'll cuss you out. I will cuss you clean out.
Yes.
I will cuss you out. I don't have the patience. And that maybe that's because I'm a Scorpio. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I like to deal with things head on.
Yeah.
Don't tell me ain't nothing wrong. And I'm going to treat you like ain't nothing wrong. And I'm not even going to ask you what you want for dinner. You're going to get whatever I cook. Moving on.
All right. Moving on, y'all. What's wrong with the live feed?
It's just slow. I don't know.
Ah, okay. All right. So question number 2.
Those.
All right. How can you tell the difference between thoughtful check-ins and control? And specifically thoughtful check-ins through text messaging,
or phone calls.
How can you tell the difference between thoughtful check-ins and control? What say you?
So control is, where are you at?
Mm-hmm.
How long you gonna be there? What time you coming home? Who you with?
Mm-hmm.
A thoughtful check-in is like, babe, I'm just checking to make sure you're safe because you said you were gonna be home at such and such time, and it's snow outside, so be careful. I think it all has to do with the way you say things.
That communication.
And that communication has to be there, because if you come at me like, where you at?
Yeah.
Now wait a minute, I'm grown.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I think it's all in the way you say it, but you already kind of know if you got a controlling person before you even receive that text, and you should.
Yeah, you should know.
But I think a thoughtful check-in is just like, hey, babe, I'm just checking to see if everything is okay. Especially if you've been out drinking with your friends. Hey, babe, do you want me to come pick you up?
Yeah.
Because I know you've been drinking.
Yeah.
Blah, 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 blah. But again, that communication has to be there.
Yeah.
A controlling person is going to call, like, where you at? They might even come after you tell them where you at. They might come down there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So it's just the way you say it, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then too, I think also, when you do a thoughtful check-in, I think just a level of respect is there too. Like, you're just respectfully, checking in, say, hey, how's it going? Yada, yada, yada. Like you said, hey, you said y'all was going to be home, this, that, and the other. And I ain't heard from you. And I'll say this. In my previous marriage, there was some insecurity on the part of my deceased spouse, because she had experienced some bad situations, and I don't think she fully healed from those experiences to the point to where she could fully trust. So whenever I would go hang out with my buddies or go certain places, it was, when you said you would be home at such and such time, and like, what are you doing? Yeah, and it was kind of, it was teetering on the line of control, but it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? And so, and I picked up on that to the point where I just quit doing stuff. Because I was like, and maybe that was the part on me of not really, like I don't like to sit and argue over.
You don't like confrontation?
Yeah, confrontational stuff, because I know when there's a confrontation, me being an athlete, a competitive person, it's going to be a winner, it's going to be a loser. And sometimes you have two determined individuals that will go through anything to prove their point. Just like we talked about a couple episodes ago, is it more important to be right, or what was it? It was something to be. It was more.
I forget. It was something.
Yeah, more important to be right, or something. Be something. And
or to be happy.
Yeah, to be happy. Be right or be happy. So I just, I didn't say I completely stopped, but I limited, how much I went and hung out. Just because I just didn't even want to have to deal with the third degree of the questioning. Like, I'm a whole grown up. Like, I'm, So yeah.
So JJ said, I think control is much more detailed in translation. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Minnie says, I think it's excessive. That's control. So if it's excessive, that's definitely control, where you constantly text messaging this person, asking where they are.
Yeah.
But she says thoughtful is, how are you? How are you feeling today? How's work?
Yeah.
Those type of things. And one of the things that I appreciate about Derek is that he does very thoughtful check-ins. It's never like the other day, my daughter had flag football tryouts, and I thought the flag football was going to be over with at 5:00. Well, it was 5:30, and I hadn't been home. But I also hadn't called him because I assumed he knew that I was, on the way home or something. So 5:30 turns into 5:45, and he calls me like, "Hey, babe, what? I'm home. I thought you was gonna be home. Where you at?" And I said, "Oh, Naya had flag football that ran over." Now, I should have definitely called to check in with him, because I realized that I didn't. So I didn't take it any kind of way, because I know he was just being, careful about where I was being thoughtful.
And in the tone of my voice, it was like, "Yo, what's up, babe? Yada yada yada. I hadn't heard from you, so I'm, and I had forgot about the tryouts. So that's why. But like you said, just the way I asked. What?
JJ said, thoughtful check-in. Hey, love, you home in the bed? I hope so, because you have a closeness that I need to feel thoughtfully.
Yeah, JJ.
That's a good thoughtful check-in, though. That's good.
Yeah. And I'll say this. I'll admit this, too. And I don't know if I've ever said this to you or communicated this to you. The level of joy that I've felt since we've been together, and I've said, "Hey, babe, I'm about to go drink with the coaches," when I was coaching, and you'd be like, "All right, be safe," and you would give me shit a little bit, but I knew it was just fun. I was just joking. Yeah, it was fun.
Like one day he came home at 7:00. He was out all night.
Yeah, but the level of that I felt when I knew that you wasn't tripping, because you were like, "I trust you. You're hanging with your friends." And so it was amazing. Like, it was so cool. Like, going and like, I would text her, "Hey, babe, we about to go, practice run over. I'm gonna go over to Cobblestone and have a couple beers with the coaches or whatever, have a couple drinks, and I'll be home after." And she'd be like, "All right, be safe, yada yada yada," and cool. And I have a good old time. And sometimes I would leave early, because I'm like, "Man, I miss my baby." So hey, all right, y'all, I'm out.
But I think it's important, though, too, that your spouse has friendships. Even though this is my best friend, sorry, Charlene, even though this is my best friend and I want to be around him a lot, it's important for him to have a life outside of me. Like, we can't be around each other 24/7.
Yeah.
And I realized that, I did a lot of growing from my last marriage to this marriage. I've done a lot of growing, and I've grown up a lot, honestly.
Same.
I've grown up a lot, because the old Nicole, I might have been a tad bit controlling, if I'm being honest. I would. Where the hell is you at? It's this time of night. But also, though, I think, being a Scorpio, I don't never want anybody to look at me like I'm thirsty. So I might be just stewing in my own upsetness. Like, where is he at? Why is he out so late? Who is he with?
Yeah.
But I might not text you
or say nothing
about it. But I'm stewing in it.
Yeah.
That's the old Nicole. The new Nicole is like, "All right, babe, well, have fun with your friends. I trust you,
Right. I trust you until you give me a reason not to trust you.
Mm-hmm. And then I got to slash your tires.
and that's
your car.
That's why I respected that, because
increase your Jordans.
and she knows, even when I've been out hanging out with my buddies or my coaching buddies, I would FaceTime her and be like, "Yo, babe, what's up?" I was just saying, "What's up, coach?" And I would literally show.
But I never asked him to do this.
No. I would just do that. Honestly, I did it to show her, like, how much fun I'm having, hanging out with the coaches. And all the coaches would be like, "Nicole, what's up?" And they would, And
half the time they're like, "Why you not here?"
Right. So yeah, that level of comfort and that level of just joy I feel when I go, like what was it? During football season, when I went, hung out with Cam at one time, Monday night, we watched the game downtown, or I went with Christian, and we had some, some cigars and watched the game and stuff. It is, I think, communication and a level of trust and respect has to be there for your spouse in order for you to feel comfortable. And like you said, you got to have friends outside of your marriage. Mm-hmm. Like you get ready to go hang out with your buddy next weekend out of town.
And Charlene just gave me some eyeballs on this. Probably when I said this is my best friend.
Right,
I said, sorry, Charlene.
Right. A controlling dude would be like, you going down to Atlanta to hang with your good friend who's single and got other single buddies. What y'all plan on doing?
Going to the strip club.
Right.
Hey.
A controlling dude.
I'm just joking.
And even if y'all do go to the strip club, I'm not going to be tripping because ultimately
I hate strip clubs.
But I ultimately know that you're not going to do nothing with them dudes.
Celis Belafonte said, what's up? What's the topic for tonight, y'all?
Who's that?
I don't know.
Celis Belafonte.
Hello, Celis Belafonte. Thank you for joining us tonight.
Hit the picture. Let me see. There's somebody I know.
As slow as this thing is moving.
Oh, okay.
All right. So we're going to move on to our next segment.
All right. Let's see here. No, we got one more question.
Oh, we got one more. Oh, yeah, we do have one more question.
We got a good one, y'all. This third question is a good one. And we need y'all to tap in. We need y'all to put in the chat who y'all think. So, question number 3.
Thank you, Minnie.
What is your favorite? And y'all, real people know who these people are. What is your favorite blue-eyed soul song? And who's the artist?
Now, let me say this because when I posted this in several places and people kept saying, what's blue-eyed soul? They didn't know what it meant. So a blue-eyed soul artist is a white artist who sang or sings.
And is, man.
Like good R&B or a good soulful song.
Yes. You just like, man, they get this white boy getting down. This white girl can sing.
So I'm going to put this in the comment. What's your favorite blue-eyed soul song?
Yep.
And who is the artist?
Yep.
So Derek, go ahead and answer that question.
So I think I'll start from the early days when I was a kid. The first group that I heard that I was like, man, this sound like the music this sound like the soul music my mama and daddy be bumping, and is Hall & Oates.
Oh yeah, definitely Hall & Oates.
Hall & Oates. That I can't go for that.
No,
man, what?
We did not. I promise you, we did not choreograph that.
Like that. They had Hall & Oates. Just that the beat and the melody and the way your boy Daryl Hall can sing, like he can sing.
Yes. Oh my goodness.
Like he can sing. I'm like, man, who is it? And I'm like, oh, these some white boys. Man, they can get down. So for me, the first time I understood and liked a song by a white artist that it sounded like the soul R&B music was Hall & Oates.
Okay.
That was my first one, was Hall & Oates.
My first person, and to this day, people are still surprised that he's white. Bobby Caldwell, What You Won't Do for Love. I remember my parents blasting that.
Yep.
Blasting his, and yes.
Yep. And I had heard that song too as a kid and had no clue.
And I remember the album cover, his face wasn't on it.
Is that the one where he's sitting on the bench and his back is to the...
Yes. Yeah, and so I didn't know, you know what I mean? And I remember later on in life listening to this song and it being called Blue-Eyed Soul. And I was like, well, what's that?
Yeah.
And the radio station that I was listening to that was playing it...
What was it back home?
WZAK. What is it? 93.1 WZAK. WZAK. And they
got a radio voice.
You're so silly. And they mentioned Blue-Eyed Soul. And so I remember asking my mom and dad, what's that? And my dad said, that's like Bobby Caldwell. He's white, but he sing like a black man. Well, my father didn't say a black man. He said a nigga. But Nonetheless,
shout out to OG Gary.
Nonetheless, that is still one of my favorite Blue Eyed Soul singers.
He got a couple of joints.
He has a couple of joints.
Some hip hop artists have sampled, like the one song Common sampled for
There Are Times.
Yeah. There's a couple of songs. But another Blue Eyed Soul singer that I was like, man, and you know, that's Mr. Phil Collins.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, Mr. Phil Collins.
Mr.
Easy Lover.
Oh my God.
Mr. Sussudio.
What is a Sussudio?
I don't know, but that song Studio is
we were singing it.
Sussudio. Yes. Yeah, Mr. Phil Collins. He's definitely in the Blue Eyed Soul Hall of Fame.
Oh my goodness. He's music
definitely in the Blue Eyed Soul Hall of Fame.
And you still play these people though. You still listen to them.
In the Air Tonight.
Oh my goodness.
What? The first time I heard that was watching Miami Vice, and Crockett and Tubbs was going to do something. And I was like, man. And then Studio, but again, I thought he was just only a solo artist. I didn't know he was part of Genesis.
Yeah.
I did not know he was part of Genesis in the 70s. Did not know. I was like, he was in a group? Mm-hmm. Man. But yeah.
So if you guys think about your favorite Blue Eyed Soul artists and their song, go ahead and post them in the comments.
Yeah. Who else, babe? Who else?
Well, you know what? Christopher Cross, Sailing, Take Me Away. That was my song. I love that song.
Yeah.
Lisa Stansfield, Been Around the World.
Yeah. Yep. I'll admit this. When I was elementary age and I was living in Germany, I was slightly a fan of Culture Club.
Oh, who wasn't a fan
of
Culture
Boy George?
Club? I loved Boy George.
Yeah, I was a little fan. And then obviously
Cyndi Lauper. I love I love Cyndi Lauper.
Who else were we a fan of back at
Wham.
George Michael.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
George Michael was everything.
I remember when this is a couple years ago.
It was not it was a year ago. We was watching that special on them.
Yeah. And it was about his life, yada yada. She was like, wait a minute, George Michael's dead? I was like, yeah, baby, been dead. Where you been?
I cried that night? Because I was like, wait a minute. Where was I at?
She was like, wait, I didn't know. I said, yeah, he's been dead.
I had to Google it because I thought he was lying.
Yeah, George Michael. Yeah, definitely.
I was a huge George Michael fan. Definitely
Blue Eyed Soul. He definitely in the Blue Eyed Soul Hall of Fame. Most definitely.
I don't know if you guys are noticing, but our feed is dragging a little bit. So I hope it doesn't come out like this in the live.
Yeah.
But we're going to move on to our segment that we call Off the Cuff.
Off the Cuff.
We should have named it Off the Couch.
Oh, okay.
But no, that's cool. Off the Cuff.
All right.
All right. So this is the segment where we just rapid fire questions. No explanation needed unless we choose to give one. Mm-hmm. So let's go.
All right. First one. Phone calls or text messages?
1, 2, 3. Text messages. Do not call me unless we talk on a regular basis. It's only a few people that I talk to on a regular basis. I would prefer you to text message me.
And see, to me, I don't text me because just from being in meetings and stuff, that's why I keep my phone on vibrate. I do not, and that bothers the crap out of me when you sitting in a meeting and somebody's phone just you be sitting like, turn that daggone thing off. So I'd rather you just shoot me a text.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like you said, unless we talk on the regular. But other than that, shoot me a text. Like for real. It's just so much more convenient.
All right, here we go. SWV or In Vogue. 1, 2, 3. SWV. Really? In Vogue. Okay.
Yeah, I'm a roll. No,
you can't change it now. That's the thing about rapid fire questions. You can't change your answer. You went with In Vogue, you got to stick with them.
Okay, I'm a roll with the girls from the Bay.
Okay,
I'll roll with them.
All right.
Next question: shoulder massage or a foot massage?
1, 2, 3.
Shoulder massage. Would you say foot?
Foot.
I'm going with shoulders. I mean, I don't have much. I got a football player neck and football player shoulders. Man, if you can work on these shoulders, babe. Woo-wee.
I'm sorry about
And
our
my
dog.
forearms, if you could get these forearms and hands and my shoulders, oh man, I love you long time.
Oh my goodness.
I love you long
Foot
time.
massages to me are just, they're everything because you're constantly on your feet.
Yeah.
And so if you can make my feet feel good, that's why I love going to get pedicures. I love a good foot massage.
What about okay? What about your feet or your calf muscles?
Still my feet.
Oh,
Because
okay.
normally when you're getting a pedicure, they still rub your calf muscles and everything.
I need to go. I ain't been in a minute. Well, when they go in, boy, I'll be like, man, get these calf muscles, put that scrub on them,
They
put
got
them
to put
hot
some work
towels
in on Myra's feet.
Right. Put them hot towels on. Man, that's amazing.
All right, here's our last question. And I know he knows who I'm going to choose. So,
and I know, hopefully she knows who I'm going to choose.
Here we go. Jodeci or Jagged Edge? 1, 2, 3. Jagged Edge. I love Jagged Edge.
Yeah.
And I cannot wait to go to Atlanta because I am going to their open mic.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited about that. I love Jagged Edge.
But Jodeci for me, just because don't talk. Just listen.
Did you try to do that sexy?
Hey, man, what? What?
I love Jodeci, but Jagged Edge,
man,
oh my God, nothing is promised.
And Jodeci came out when I was a senior in high school, so when that Stay came out,
yeah, that was everything. But I'm gonna roll with my boys.
That song was a panty dropper.
I'm gonna roll with my boys. Jagged Edge, they never do me wrong.
Who did that? Was that Devontae that said that?
Yeah,
it was. Don't talk, just listen.
Don't do that again. You trying to? Don't be trying to seduce me on air.
What?
What?
Yeah. So I'm rolling with Jodeci. I'm rolling with Jodeci. Yeah.
All right.
Whatever you want. Ba, 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 ba.
Oh, gosh.
Whatever you need.
Ooh, yeah.
My heart belongs to what?
Whatever you want, baby.
Man, and Jodeci had the deep bass beat. Man.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
I'm still rolling with Jagged Edge.
I know. You like them little R&B thug.
Hey.
But Jodeci was R&B thug dudes too. They just, it was in a different form. They had been heavily influenced by Diddy, which is all that flash.
Well, okay.
Whereas Jagged Edge, they were from Atlanta, ain't they?
Yes, they were polished though.
Yeah.
Now they had some turmoil, but they still kicking it. They still making music.
Yeah.
So.
All right, babe. What's the positive shot for tonight?
All right, here we go.
Tink. I'm gonna drink my shot.
Oh yeah, let me drink my shot too. Hold on, guys. Gotta wet my whistle.
Yeah.
Okay. So earlier this week, I woke up feeling really out of sorts and somewhat wishing that I could go back to who I was before all the trauma, the heartbreak, and the loss. But the more that I sat with it and read my couch cousin's comments, the more I realized the goal isn't to go back. Mm-hmm. Some people even said that. The goal isn't to go back, Nicole. The goal is to honor who I was while who I am right now, mm-hmm. and who I was in the past. Embrace both of those, as well as embrace who I am becoming.
Right.
Because each age brings something new, something different. Mm-hmm. The version of me from before didn't know what I know now. She hadn't learned how to set boundaries. She couldn't recognize red flags. She couldn't rest without guilt or walk away from people and situations that hurt her. Mm-hmm. And while I may miss some of her softness, her lightness, mm-hmm. I don't have to lose those things just because life has changed me. Healing isn't about returning to who you were before. Mm-hmm. It's about integrating the joy we once had with the wisdom that we've now gained. Mm. So I say all that to say I'm a different version of Nicole today, mm-hmm. but that doesn't mean that I'm a bad version just because things have happened. And I think the other day I was like, gosh, I need to lose some weight. I need to do this. Mm-hmm. I'm not where I want to be in this aspect of my life. Mm-hmm. And I think the younger Nicole just had so much. She was vibrant. She was young, but she was also naive. Mm-hmm. Where this Nicole is a little bit more wiser.
Mm-hmm.
She is in a place that a lot of people will want to be in, and I need to be thankful for that.
Yeah.
And grateful for that.
Yeah.
But I can't go back to who I was.
Yeah.
You know, I might want that old body back, but I can work towards that. You know?
Yeah. You can
so again, healing isn't about returning to who you were before. Mm-hmm. It's about integrating the joy we once had with the wisdom that we've now gained.
And that's, like you said, that's where the work comes in and the challenge.
Absolutely.
How do you do that?
How do you do that? Yeah, absolutely.
So, hey, if you didn't catch that first time, just rewind on our YouTube channel and listen to it again. And also, feel free to send in positive shots. If y'all got positive shots that you feel like, hey, I need to get that out, feel free to send one in, you know.
Or even questions.
Yeah, questions, DM us, you know, DM
suggestions.
DM our BLKLine Facebook page.
Or either DM one of us.
Yeah, DM one of us. You know, we definitely save your questions, and we you know, we post them and we talk about them each week. So the more love, the more support that you show us, we're gonna show it back to you. And again, giving our perspective.
All right.
So that's a wrap for today's episode of Couples Couch, episode 15.
Don't forget to follow us on all social medias and tune in for a special episode. I don't know when we're going to be able to do this because next week I'll be leaving on Thursday.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
So we might have to take a week off, Couch Cousins. But keep sending your questions or suggestions. Yeah. And don't forget to follow our business pages at Soul Signature Designs, where you can get your custom beaded bracelets.
Yep. And she does men's too as well.
And I do necklaces also.
Yep.
And WeAreBlkline on Instagram. Our links will be in the captions.
Peep it. We just trying to get them coins. All right. Much love. See y'all next week on this on Couples Couch. Sorry. Where we'll be saving you a seat.
And remember, Couples Couch is where Black love kicks back, gets real, and as y'all can see, I definitely laugh out loud.
Yeah. So make sure you get your ass up off the couch
and love on your spouse.
Peace.
Bye, guys. Thanks for tuning in. And we will let you know if we're going to air next week.